From WLWT, this is Issues.
Hello, welcome to Issues. I'm Jan-Michele Lemon Kearney of SESH Communications and the Cincinnati Herald. We have a lot of good information today. Now, a little later, Michael Bobo is going to talk to the reigning Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, Kierra Patterson. She's wonderful, so you're going to be able to talk to her and hear what comes next. We're also going to talk about, kind of give you an update on the preschool promise. You know, that's a levy you approved. It's a 5-year levy. You approved it last year, so we want to let you know how things are going and about some upcoming opportunities. First, we're going to talk to Bob Bedinghaus, chairman of the Cincinnati Federal Bank Savings and Loan. So we're so happy you're here, and everybody knows you. You used to be a Hamilton County commissioner. You work with the Cincinnati Bengals, a lot going on there. But today we're going to talk about banking.
Jan, it's great to be with you.
Welcome.
Before I lost my mind completely and got involved in politics, banking was my first career.
Right,
and
right.
Out of my my time at the University of Cincinnati, where I was a co-op student, I actually started at a bank.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
It's interesting to have gone from co-op student to chairman.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. That's quite a climb. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Cincinnati Federal, because Cincinnati Federal is a small bank. It's one of Cincinnati's smaller banks, but it's, you know, I say it's small but mighty. So tell us about the future of small banks here in Cincinnati.
Well, if you look at the banking community in general, just across the country,
Right.
you know, the world is dominated by the giant banks, the
Right.
Chase banks, the city banks, the money center banks out of New York City.
Right.
Then you come down to Cincinnati, and you've got PNC and Fifth Third and all of those big regional banks.
Right.
And then folks like us, folks like Cincinnati Federal, we really fill a niche that's below that. You know, our entire company is $155 million in assets. We may be smaller than some of Fifth Third's branches for all we know.
Right.
But we really fill a niche, primarily in home ownership. We have a very robust mortgage lending operation where we originate probably $80 million in home loans a year.
Wow.
That makes a difference in communities.
So now, and tell me about that. So what's the advantage of a small bank? Why are small banks able to really get into the community and help folks with mortgages, for example?
Well, we like to say that you're not just a number with us. That's kind of what every small bank says.
Right.
But when you look at how we operate, we have local decision makers who talk directly to customers. That's different than when you're dealing with a money center bank.
It really is, and I can attest to that. So I have some investment properties through Cincinnati Federal, and I talk to Greg Meyer and Joan Withers, and love them to death. They call me. We work out problems together. We talk about management, repairs. I mean, everything, and they are fantastic.
Right, and it's the personal service that you get from a smaller bank that you just
Right.
can't get from one of the bigger banks.
Right.
So we primarily focus on home loans. But we also do commercial real estate as well. We don't do the crazy commercial deals that are multi-million-dollar deals.
Right.
But for the niche that we deal with, which is probably on the commercial side anything from $500,000 to $2 million. There's a lot of that business out in
Right.
town.
There's a lot out there.
And I think especially people are looking to deal with folks that can give them an answer.
Right.
The answer sometimes might be no.
Right.
But at least they can get an answer. And I think that's the kind of niche that smaller banks like us serve.
And I was going to say, even if the answer is no, a banker can help that consumer figure out how to get to yes. I mean, often it's like credit repair. I mean, there's certain things people have to do, right? So,
Well, especially on the home ownership side.
Right.
We work with a lot of folks who they will come in down, they'll sit with our loan officers, and the answer will be, you've really got this credit score issue. Your
Right.
credit score is 550. And in some places, a mortgage broker or a big banker would say, you just don't qualify, thanks for coming in. What
Yeah,
we can
goodbye.
do is
Right.
we can sit with them and
Right.
say, here's what you do. If you really pay attention and, if you make these 12 payments on time, go out and get a small credit card, start to build your credit back up. Those little things make an incredible
Huge
difference when it comes to your credit score.
Right.
And your credit score really is who you are
Right.
when it comes to lending. And so we can do that sort of hands-on approach to things where Well, the answer isn't no. The answer is not right now.
Right. In the future, once you do these steps.
Right.
So getting started, so someone listening to this saying, you know, might be a renter now and they've decided they're going to buy a home for the first time. What kind of, you know, what kind of steps should they go through?
Well, the first thing they should do is reach out to one of our loan officers. They can call us. I'll do a little ad here.
Okay, good.
Call us at 574-3025.
Okay, tell us one more time.
574-3025.
Okay.
And ask to speak to one of our loan officers. They're happy to sit down with you. We have a great program that's going on right now through the Federal Home Loan Bank where we'll actually give you a $5,000 grant.
Wow.
$5,000 in cash.
Wow.
To put towards your down payment.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and so we'll sit down with you. We'll figure out the right type of loan that works for you, and hopefully, you know, everything will come together. We like that you come to us before you actually find the house.
I think that's a great idea.
Because you know, as I've dealt with my children, you know, I sit down with them and say, all right, this is what you can afford monthly, which means this is the loan you can afford,
right.
which means this is the house you can afford,
right.
as opposed to them going out and looking at a house that they couldn't afford anyway.
Exactly. Now, Sylvia Nelson from Comey and Shepard was on last week, and that was her exact point, that you need to go to the bank first.
Right.
So I think that's so important. So people should come to the bank and call their loan officer and sit down and talk. If they don't have a down payment or maybe not enough for the down payment, Cincinnati Federal has an answer for that.
We got $5,000 sitting in a corner waiting for you, but
yes.
And those grants go quickly. So if you're on the cusp of thinking about buying something right now, you need to call quickly.
So call Cincinnati Federal. Give us that number again, please.
It's 574-3025.
Okay, 574-3025. Call, ask for a loan officer.
Correct.
Come in and talk, and the loan officer will go through credit scores and all that, and all the
sit down with you and go through everything.
How to get ready for that house. That's wonderful. Okay, thank you, Bob. Thank you so much for coming. And I think that personal relationship with the banker is so important, and it's something that a lot of people really need and want and don't have. So we encourage them to go to Cincinnati Federal and get going with that home buying. Right.
Thanks for the plug.
All right. Thank you. Stick with us. Michael will be back in just a moment to talk with Miss Black Teen Cincinnati.
Welcome back. I'm Michael Bobo, and I'm here today with Miss Kierra Patterson, the reigning Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, and Mr. Robert Humphries of RLH Productions and the founder of Miss Black Teen Cincinnati. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
These are two of my favorite people. I'm so happy you're here. Mr. Humphries, give us a little information, because the Miss Black Teen Cincinnati is such an uplifting event for young girls to join. So how long has this been going on?
Well, Ms. Bobo, the Miss Black Teen Cincinnati pageant I founded back in 1990. You know, and the first pageant took place at the Taft High School's auditorium, and I took a break after doing it for 12 consecutive years in 2001, and I brought it back 3 years ago. You know, and basically because so many of the parents that I've come in contact with, and they shared with me how it was a big help to their daughters, you know, the training, the preparation, you know, and helping building their self-esteem. It was a great program, so they encouraged me to bring it back. So they kind of brought me back out of my retirement.
Okay. So what type of things do the young ladies learn, and what work do you do?
We have 4 phases of competition. The first phase is that of a personal interview, you know, where each contestant will meet with the judges, and they have a specific amount of time. You know, and the judges ask them questions. Then we have a talent performance, evening gown. Then the last phase of that, let me see the envelope, please. Open it up. That's the impromptu question, and the judge on the ability to think quickly on their feet and answering the question to give a specific answer to a specific question. And then from that point on, then we receive an overall winner.
Okay. How many months do you all prepare for this?
We prepare. We started our registration already, you know, for next year's pageant, and of course we had what is called orientation, and the orientation took place, you know, the previous month. So we're in our 4th week right now, and the contestants, you know, they are trained in the poise, the vision, the basic grace, and the projection competition, talent coordinator, rehearsal coordinator, have now a training, coordinator on the competition. So they're training all aspects and preparing them for the pageant.
Okay. And Kierra, how was that experience for you when you joined last year for 2016?
It was very exciting. It was different, most definitely. I love the sisterhood that I gained from joining the pageant. And I just loved the rehearsals where we would practice questions and help answering them. And I actually did receive the highest score for the personal interview, and that was my best part of the competition because I liked to talk to the judges and let them get to know me for who I was.
Okay. This year, you've done a lot of things because once you become Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, what are some of the events and things that you've gone through this year since you won?
I've done 2 parades. I know one of them was the Lincoln Heights parade.
I got a picture of you up there waving with your pageant wave.
I did a event for a nonprofit organization, Royalty, which was the latest thing that I did. I did Juneteenth. Nefertiti Award. See, he remembers more than I do. And what was another one? I did.
That's the Black Family Reunion.
Yeah, the Black Family Reunion breakfast, and I did the
Lincoln Heights Day Parade.
Yeah, the Lincoln Heights Day Parade.
You came back and played the violin here at Issues.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of talents. You're also a singer.
Yeah, violinist.
Okay. Now, when you were doing these, do you speak at these events? What are some of your roles when you attend the event?
I've spoken, I've handed awards out, I've played the violin, I've ministered. I did a lot of ministry things through the pageant, so.
Okay. Now, Mr. Humphries.
Yes, ma'am.
What are some of the things we can look forward to this year because we have the pageant coming up soon?
Okay, well, the pageant will be coming up on Saturday, April the 22nd, 2 p.m. It'll take place once again in New Prospect Baptist Church. And the admission is only $10, which is the same amount that I charged 25 years ago. So nothing's changed. That's to keep it very economical, where it's a family-oriented event that they can afford it to come in to see the loved ones. And of course, I couldn't.
How can they get more information?
Get more information, you can call 368-8108, 368-8108. But I would like to thank my sponsors. I couldn't do it without my sponsors, and that is my co-sponsors, and producer would be the Cincinnati Black Theater Company. And my main sponsor would be none other than the Cincinnati Herald, which has been with me since the beginning, of this particular pageant, the Miss Black Teen, as well as the Miss Black Cincinnati pageant that I developed back in 1980. And I would also like to thank the Carl H. Linder Family Branch YMCA, the Center for the Closing the Health Gap is one of my major sponsors. They've been a sponsor for the past several years. Roper's Restaurant and Catering, Cincinnati Music Festival, Out Here Music, Perfect Exposure Photography, Darlene Edwards of Extra Sharp Hair Salon, Pamela Davis, a Shampoo Hair Salon and Nails, Tony Doughty of Simply Divine Makeup, and the Avondale Running Club, and President Tuxedo. Okay. And I hope that I didn't leave anyone out.
Well, when people attend this year, it starts at 2 p.m.
Starts at 2 p.m.
And how long will the event last?
Well, the event should last no more than 2.5 hours, hopefully. Hopefully we run on time and there's no technical problems that we have. And also, Ms. Bobo, I would like to mention that we have essay awards. We have one essay award, which is called the Sharon Hemphill Essay Award, that all contestants can write an essay. And we have another one by Nikki Armstrong, essay award. And each one of those awards comes with a $150, a check, presentation to each one of the winners.
And the young ladies that are in the pageant this year will be the ones writing the essays.
They'll be the ones writing the essays. And also the Gardenia Roper Scholarship Award, which is $1,000, for her essay. And she'll be given it in 4 different places. And the last one would be that, let me see, I want to make sure I get them. The Antonio and Cheryl Lackey Essay Award.
Great. Well, we have a lot of essay awards.
Yes.
Everyone can come out April 22nd at New Prospect Baptist Church. Kierra, sing us out real quick. We'll be right back from Issues.
Hallelujah, You have won the victory. Oh, hallelujah. You have won it all for me.
Welcome back. But Mr. Humphries also wanted to mention that for the Miss Black Teen Cincinnati pageant, there's also a scholarship sponsored by Zeta Phi Beta sorority. We didn't want to leave them out. Okay, so you remember in 2016, we approved the 5-year levy for Preschool Promise. So excited. And so Vanessa White, and we're going to get your title right, it's Implementation Project Lead.
Right. For the Cincinnati Preschool Promise.
For the Cincinnati Preschool Promise.
So issue 44 was actually a $48 million levy, and $33 million of that went to Cincinnati Public Schools for
K through 12.
K to 12, a lot of the new things that you've been hearing about that they're doing. And then $15 million of that is going to preschool expansion, both in CPS preschools and community providers throughout the city.
That's wonderful. Now, one of the statistics we keep hearing is that 40% of Cincinnati children are not ready for kindergarten. That's a lot.
It's a lot of children, and so this preschool expansion initiative, it's a couple of things. It's one, expanding quality. So there are a lot of areas in our city where you can't get what we call quality preschool, which means it's rated in the state's quality system. So we will be doing 2 big components to start out with, and one is tuition assistance for those centers, those providers, those family care providers that are 3, 4, and 5 rated in Ohio's quality system, Step Up to Quality. And then we'll be doing tuition quality improvement. So that's tuition assistance that follows the child and helps those parents. It'll be income, based on your income, your percentage of poverty. And then for those providers who are unrated 1 and 2, we'll be providing quality improvement support to help them get to quality.
3, 4, 5-star level.
So the vision is that we will have a quality system with the goal of making sure that all of our young people, when they show up to kindergarten, are ready to learn.
That's fantastic. And I didn't realize, and most people probably already knew this, but I didn't, that preschools are actually rated. So there's a 5-star rating system. Are they rated by the state?
Rated by the state of Ohio.
Okay.
And the other thing that makes this so critically important at this time is that the state is saying that by 2020, every provider must be rated, must be quality rated.
That's
so
fantastic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But by 2025, they must be 3 or above.
Oh, that's
and so
great.
this is a huge change to our system. It's a great opportunity, and we're
fantastic.
really grateful for the community providing this opportunity.
And so does this apply to all preschool providers? I mean, even if you have 5 kids in the preschool, does it matter, how large or small your preschool is?
That would be a family provider, a family child provider who does it in their home. So yes, they would qualify as well.
Great.
So, which is really important because we, the last time, like a lot of people have been saying, what's been going on between the time we passed the levy and now? A lot of hard work to build the infrastructure, to get the infrastructure built, so we'll be ready to do that. Wow. So what we want to do in March, in the next 2 weeks, is have some provider information sessions where we just start to tell the providers, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to be thinking of, and then later in April, we'll be having some parent sessions where we provide information to parents about if you want to apply for Preschool Promise dollars, that you need to, start working on the things that'll make you eligible to do that.
That is great. So tell us about that, because I know there's some things coming up in March, as you said, March, starting with March 27th. I think we have something on the screen too. I don't know if it's coming up, but go ahead and tell us about it, Vanessa. There are 3 sessions.
So,
we do have it up.
And this will go back, like the March 2nd. March 2nd was the board meeting. And of the first official, it made us official. And I will tell you that one of the things that the board is really keen on is making sure.
Before you say that, let's give us, because we have this and we're going to come back.
I'm sorry, making sure that we made sure we got out in the community, engaged the community.
Oh, okay.
So we jumped on making sure that we had these sessions. The first session is March 27th.
Okay.
That will be at the Price Hill Recreation Center. The next one is March 28th. That will be at the Urban League.
Okay.
And we have since scheduled a March 29th session, which will be at College Hill Rec Center. So we want to have them in different parts of town.
Okay,
So,
and I shouldn't have cut you off because you
that's
were
okay.
actually giving us background for what was
so
on the
why
screen.
this is so important.
Right, that was
So,
great.
yeah.
And so all three sessions are from 6:30 to
8
p.m.
o'clock.
Okay, to 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Now, is there a website to go on to find out more information about it?
www.askpreschoolpromise.org.
Okay, easy.
And lots of information there, not just
Okay.
about the sessions, but a little more Q&A. But
Okay.
again, just thank the community for this opportunity. We have a great board in place, nonprofit organization, Cincinnati
Yeah, you've got
Preschool
some heavy
Promise.
hitters on the board. I
We
was looking at
do,
the list,
yeah.
John Pepper,
Yeah.
and
And it's chaired by Father Graham. He's doing a great job.
Yeah,
of
Father
moving
Michael
us
Graham
forward.
from Xavier,
Absolutely.
fantastic. That's excellent. So, and I was going to tell folks that if you missed what the website was, just go to WLWT.com. We're going to link you to Ask Preschool.
www.askpreschoolpromise.org.
Okay, Ask Preschool Promise. That's easy. Okay, .org. Okay. So, all right. So let's go back to these sessions. We have 3 sessions coming up in March.
Yes.
Now the parents will be later in April. We'll talk
Yes.
about them later. But these sessions are for those who are actually providing preschool.
So yeah, eligible to all providers, whether you are multi-site, single-site, family child care providers, and we will be an overview of what it will mean to receive the tuition assistance. These tuition assistance are going to be prioritized. You know, the one thing we talk about in our community is childhood poverty, which means that families are in poverty.
Right.
So it will be prioritized to the families that need it the most.
Okay.
So that's starting at 200% of poverty and below, and then we'll prioritize 300% of poverty. So we'll move up the scale that way.
So providers need to come to these sessions,
They
March
do.
27th,
Yep.
28th, 29th, 6:30 to 8. They can go to www.askpreschoolpromise.org or just come to WLWT.com. We're going to link you. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thanks
We're really
for having
excited.
us.
You're going to have to come back. So we'll hear what's happening in April later for the parents.
Yep,
but this
we'd
is
love
really
to come
good.
back and we'll
yeah,
be much
lots
further
going
along
on.
and
You
give
guys
more
are really,
detail.
yeah,
We're moving
you're really,
quickly.
Really
we're
moving.
We're
That's
trying to get this
fantastic.
thing up and running really quickly
Great.
so
Thank
that the
you so-
community can benefit.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Michael Bobo has some community events for you.
First up, we have the 12th annual Lighting the Way Scholarship Fundraiser and Gala, Sunday, April 9th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Prime Cincinnati, located 580 Walnut Street. RSVP today. For more information, go to 772-KIDS, 772-5437, extension 1. Next up, we have Health Gap Health Expo. Racism is deadly to your health. Saturday, April 29th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Washington Park, located at 1230 Elm Street. It's free and open to the public. For more information, call 585-9862. Last up, we have the 2017 Business Excellence Awards and Silent Auction, Saturday, April 29th at 7 p.m. at the Word of Deliverance Church, located at 693 Fresno Drive. Tickets are $65. For more information, call 344-6522 or 554-4012, extension 11.
Great events going on. Thank you to
a
Michael.
lot.
Yes, don't forget the Cincinnati Herald and the African American Chamber of Commerce have the Bright Awards coming up May 12th. We're going to give you more information about that maybe next week. All right, have a great week. Stay safe, stay positive.